As a fan of college football, you know, like you do know why I'm here, right? Right? Week 1 was something else. Let's get into it. Hey, it's your girl Autumn, and I am here with another edition of As a Fan of College Football. And I'm going to tell you what, I was so excited about week 1. Like, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I had to lay my clothes out like it was the first day of school. New shoes and all. I was so excited. And let me tell you what, I'm recording this on Tuesday because week 1 took every bit of my life. I have had to recover. I was up on the phone till 3:30 in the morning yelling about college football. I had to completely regroup. Okay. So now that it's over, it's time for us to talk about it. But first, before we really get into it, what I want to do is ask you guys, if you haven't already, because like I say in every video, you're going to like this video. So hit the like. Go ahead and just hit the like for me. Go ahead and hit the subscribe. I mean, it costs you $0.00 to hit the subscribe. Okay. And I don't know, if you really like the video, like go ahead and share it. Specifically, I was on Twitter the other day, and there was a girl that was on there that was like, I really want to get into college football, but it seems like so much. And I basically just shared my channel with her and like, look, no pressure. Like this whole show that I do is so no pressure. It's not super heavy on analytics or statistics or anything like that. This is literally my opinions and thoughts as a super fan of college football. I love my Ohio State Buckeyes, but overall, like college football is my jam. So I like to get on here and I like to talk about it, and I like to make it as simple as possible. Like I'm going to be doing the most, but not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I already know how these things go. So yes, please like, share, subscribe. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Autumn the Aries. I'm Autumn the Aries everywhere. So on Instagram, I've been putting out reels and different and content based upon the things I want to talk about during this here segment. And one thing that I put out was a list of the games that I wanted to cover. And I'm going to cover those games, and I'm going to cover a couple of additional games as well, because it was like a couple that I just kind of, one I wasn't even going to cover at all because I knew what the outcome was going to be, and the other one I kind of forgot about. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's not waste no more time, and let's talk about it. So the very first game that I would like to talk about is Georgia Tech and Colorado. So, like I said in my reel on Instagram, I'm always rooting for Coach Prime. Like things are different. The Sanders boys are no longer there. Travis Hunter is no longer there. So, there's been some turnover on the quote unquote big names. And I know that things are going to be different, right? I know that things are going to be different. So basically, Colorado lost. I mean, I don't even know what else y'all want me to say. I mean, it was just, I watched the game, and it was what it was. It was pretty close. Like it was kind of like anybody's game. I mean, you see the score was like 27-20. But the big thing here is that everybody is talking about is that Coach Prime had like 2 timeouts to use on the last drive, and he didn't use them. And he kind of got not necessarily into it with with one of the guys that was interviewing him when he was trying to kind of ask him about it, like just kind of ask him about it. And he made some points. He was like, was I supposed to use it here? Like basically he was saying every single time that he would have thought to have a chance to use those timeouts, they threw the ball, and it was maybe an incomplete pass, or it went out of bounds or whatever. So he didn't have a chance to use them. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't think that him using them them 2 timeouts was gonna do anything. Like, I don't know. I feel like their defense needs a little bit of work. I don't know. It was just another game for me. And I don't know if it was because, again, big names are gone. I want to see them do well. But also, I kind of knew that they probably were not going to win. Like, I had a feeling that they were not going to win. And reason being is because Georgia Tech, I never can remember who it was they beat last year. Was it Alabama? I think it was Alabama that they beat. And so, they've been kind of, they've been on they big ones. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised that Georgia Tech won this game. So nothing else really to highlight with that. I want to see them do well, and hopefully they'll be able to make some changes and some tune-ups or whatever the hell they got to do come next week. All right, so moving on to Towson and Norfolk State. Now, y'all know I am one of Michael Vick's biggest fans. I'm trying to hold myself from going on a rant about Michael Vick right now. I do not condone anything that he was said to be a part of because I love the fur babies. I'm going on a rant. Also, I know people are so tired of me saying this, but I don't care. I'm going to say it as many times as I possibly can. Okay. If Michael Vick would have been on the Dallas Cowboys, now, Jerry don't open up his purse. Clearly, Jerry doesn't open up his purse when he absolutely should. Like back when Emmitt Smith was, held out for like 4 games or to however many games it was because he wasn't trying to open up his purse for Emmitt after they had just won a Super Bowl. Like, but what he will do is open up his purse to get people out of trouble. And I feel like even if he would have taken this charge, he was with, it was like a federal charge. So he was going to, I just believe Jerry Jones would have been able to do something about it. And by now, Michael Vick would have a damn gold jacket. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to let it go because I'm supposed to be talking about his coaching debut. So during his coaching debut, which was another game that I watched, I watched, I got to it kind of late because I was out ripping and running, but unfortunately, again, another loss for a team that I really wanted to see win, but I didn't know much about Towson, and I knew that Michael Vick was coming in to this team very brand new, like first time ever coaching a college team, and I knew that there were going to be some gaps and some loopholes and some things that they were going to have to work out after this first game. And what we have to remember about college football is we don't get to scrimmage. We don't get to have, preseason games. We don't, we scrimmage on the team with each other, but that's about it. So I think what I'm going to say is I believe that Michael Vick probably has an understanding as to what needs to happen. Now, does that mean that he's going to turn this team around this year or even next? No, that's not what it means. But what it does mean is if he is a good coach and if he has good coaches around him, they will be able to put their heads together and try to figure this out. The team looked extremely small. Like the defense was just like they was running all over these boys. Like it ain't really even, again, this is another game that it ain't really too much to say about it. They ended up losing 27-7, and I know Towson's coach was just saying, like, we're gonna ride the wave because everybody was there to see what Michael Vick was gonna do. Like, that was the big old thing. Like, have we ever seen either one of these schools on TV? I don't think we have. So we know that there was a lot of media coverage. That First Take, I think it was First Take that was there because it was Stephen A. Smith and Cam Newton, and I forget the one lady's name, sorry. But they were there and they did the kickoff Like, was it that same day? Yeah, because I think it was Friday that they played. So it was a lot of hype around it. I know that everybody just wanted to see how this was going to play out. So again, not too much to say. I did see when it had to been at halftime when they interviewed Vic at halftime. You know how they do the coaches interview. He was extremely frustrated, and he spoke about just the things that they needed to tighten up on. Like, and again, the one thing that I noticed the most was their defense. It was not great. It just wasn't good. So covered that game. Covered that game. Good luck to Michael Vick in the future. Again, I will be checking in with that team, and hopefully he will make those necessary changes that he needs to make. All right, moving on. Another game that I decided to follow, another new coach, like not brand new, because we all know that Eddie George has coached college football before, but now he is back in Ohio because, you know, he won the Heisman when he played at Ohio State. Probably my favorite Ohio State player of all time. And he went to Bowling Green and he did great. So they played Lafayette College. And on the very first kickoff, Cameron Petaway ran back a 98-yard touchdown. Like, what a way to start the game. What a way to start the game. I was like, oh, it's about to be one of them type of situations. One of them type of situations. And y'all know I hate Bowling Green. I know I got to say that every time. Like, I'm from Toledo. I went to the University of Toledo. I'm alumni. And I hate them. But again, I had to check in to see what Eddie George was doing. What Eddie George and his team was doing. So again, Cameron Petaway with the run back of 98 yards, and this is the second year that they scored on an opening kickoff like in a row, which is crazy. Petaway, he scored within like the first 10, 11 seconds. Like, it's insane. And it was an electrifying play. So it had the crowd going bananas. It was off the chain. So they ended up winning against Lafayette College 26-7, and that was on Thursday night. That was a Thursday night game. Some of the takeaways, I had two takeaways from this particular experience, I would say. Eddie George has so much support. Like, he had a whole bunch of his like ex-teammates were there. So they had a whole list: Orlando Pace, Joey Galloway, Ramont Harris, Michael Shaughnessy, Tito Paul, Beanie Harris, Ty Howard, Buster Tillman, Robert Wood, and DeMarcus Woody all came to support their former teammate. And I thought that was like one of the best things ever. So kudos to Eddie George. Keep going. I mean, except for when y'all play Toledo. I'm gonna need you to turn it down a bit when y'all play the University of Toledo. I'm just saying, like, I cannot be dealing with this type of stress. Okay. So that was that on that specifically about Eddie George. But the other story in Bowling Green is Pudge the cat. Now, I know for a fact y'all knew I was going to get on here and talk about Pudge. Okay. Y'all knew I was going to get on here and talk about Pudge. Okay. Pudge has like stolen the hearts of all of us, especially us cat ladies. I love Pudge so much. He is so cute. So he's like, is it the long snappers? I think he's the long snappers cat. He said something happened during practice or something like that one day, and morale was down, and he just decided to bring the cat in. So now the cat basically can't leave. Like, the cat is now like, he's more of an icon than is the Falcon's name Buddy? I can't remember what the Falcon's name is because I hate them, but he's more of a mascot than the damn Falcon at this point. So they put a little card up here. I think I got this from Barstool. They put a little thing up here, and I talk about his profile. He's an exotic short hair. He's 3 years old. He's the position is the morale booster, and George Carlson is his roommate. And he is cute. They got him a little jersey. Like, I mean, they did it up for Pudge. And I'm not mad about this. Like, I think this is such a cute story, and I'm definitely like 100% here for it. I'm here for it. So that's what happened at the Bowling Green, Lafayette College versus Bowling Green State University. Let's move along to my Rockets. Okay, who got beat? Really ain't too much more to say about that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I I don't like to lose. You know what I'm saying? And again, y'all know I am Ohio State Buckeye now, but I'm definitely always going to ride for my Rockets because that's where all my money went. So they lost to Kentucky 24-16, and it was just what it was. Dante Dow rushed for 129 yards and a touchdown to lead Kentucky to that win. The quarterback, Zach Calzada, a seventh-year transfer, threw for 85 yards, scored a rushing touchdown in the first quarter. Like, I mean, they was just running. They ran it on them. You know what I'm saying? They had a couple of other transfers. So Dow is a transfer from Nebraska. And then Seth McGowan is also a transfer from North New Mexico State. They had combined 207 rushing yards, with Kentucky finishing with 305 yards of offense. So, and the only real stat that I had about Toledo was Toledo's Tucker Gleason threw for a game high of 270 yards, which is, that was his highest, scoring yardage, throwing yardage or whatever that he's done in his career. So kudos to him for that. But unfortunately, they did come up with the L. So hopefully, when we check in on the action, it'll be a lot better next week. I don't know. I don't feel confident. I'm just trying to be 100% with y'all. I don't feel confident, but it is what it is. So moving along to the next game. And I'm going to tell you what right now. I'm not here really to even talk about the game. All I'm going to say is LSU beat Clemson. LSU was ranked number 9. Clemson was ranked number 4. They beat them 17-10. It was actually a good game. I did watch it. It was actually a good game. I wanted both of them to lose. So it really just didn't matter to me. But anytime Dabo loses, it's, a win. So I'll take this. I'll take this win, this LSU win over Clemson. But the biggest story here for me as a fan of college football is I had no idea that Clemson's in their Death Valley, which is what they call their football stadium atmosphere, I had no idea that their locker room were like way somewhere else on the other side of the stadium or whatever. Like, it's far enough away that they have to take a bus to the hill that they run down to get on the field. I had no idea. And I'm like, are we being for real right now? Why? Who designed this? Who did this? And so as I was reading about it, because of course I had to look it up. So as I was reading about it, they were saying that the reason why they got the buses again, they was too far away by the time the players would get to the field. They're like exhausted. So they had to get these buses, but not so since they have to do this, now they've made it like this huge like thing. So like it's like this huge tradition, but it's a tradition that came because whoever designed this stupid stadium, what I don't understand. And again, I've never been there, so I don't know, what it looks like. I don't know the logistics. I don't know I don't know any of it. I can't imagine the locker room being so far away that you have to take a bus. And so what do they do at halftime? Do you mean to tell me that they walk up that big old hill, get on the bus, ride to the damn locker room, get off the bus, go in the locker room, do whatever they gonna do in there, hop back on the bus, ride back to the stadium, run down the thing again? Are you telling me that that's what happens? Halftime is only 15 minutes. Halftime is only 15 minutes. So what are we doing here? Like, that was the part about the game that really blew me. I'm like, are we being dead ass right now? Like, this is what's going on at Clemson, but whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. So moving right along. Let's talk about what happened in Miami. Let's talk about what happened in Miami. So Miami beat Notre Dame 27-24. I knew that Miami was going to beat Notre Dame. And before I have this what I'm going to call kind of like a hard conversation, let me just start out with like some positive here. Carson Beck, to me, watching him play at Georgia, he was trash there. Like, I don't care. Like, he was not great at Georgia. And we've seen these type of things before. For instance, Kyle McCord. Y'all know I bring up Kyle all the time because he's a thorn in my side, okay? Kyle McCord was at Ohio State bricking it up. Do you understand what I'm saying? That boy hit the transfer portal probably before it was open at the end of that season after they lost to Michigan that year. He skipped town so fast. He was probably soon as that Michigan game was over, I'm pretty sure he like got on the plane. He probably left all this stuff and he just got on the plane down to Syracuse because it was just no way. But what did he do when he got to Syracuse? Balled out. He balled out at Syracuse. Like, balled out. And my take on him was he's a decent quarterback, but you gotta be somebody real special to play quarterback at Ohio State. And I'm not saying it's, and I'm not being like biased. I think it's the same for, like Alabama. I think it's the same for Miami. I think it's the same for Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be a special. You have to be able to fit into the culture and understand how things go at that school. And of course, you're not going to know that without being there. But once you're there, if you don't fit, you just don't fit. And that was the thing with Kyle McCord. I'm not sure exactly what was going on at Georgia with Carson Beck. But what I do know is he got to Miami and was balling his ass off this past week. And of course, this is just week 1. We have time to, see what he's really going to do. I still don't think he's going to supersede what Cam Ward did at Miami. I can't like see that. I'm not saying that I don't want to see it, but I can't really see it. But the thing about Miami is if they get it together, it's gonna be some, it's gonna be some competition. And I'm all for some competition. I still think Miami should have made the playoffs. I still think Miami should have made the playoffs last year. But they didn't. I think they came in at 14 or something like that. Like they didn't make it. So yeah, because I feel like towards the end of the season they were playing like good ball or whatever. But yeah, so Carson Beck, kudos to Carson. Like, again, I was dragging him last season. I'm not even gonna sit up here and hold you, but I will say kudos to him. I hope that this is his fit, but also he's like a 6-year senior. What is that about? I really don't understand how there's no like limit on years. And maybe he didn't play all 6 years. Maybe he was like redshirt and whatever. Maybe he was out for a year or he transferred and couldn't play for a year. I don't know what the deal is, but some of this stuff that's some of the stuff that I don't understand about college football. Like, you could be a damn 25-year senior and still be out there. You could be literally grown, married with like 3 kids and all types of stuff and still be playing college football. And I don't know. It don't sit right with me, but whatever. So Carson threw for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns in his Miami debut. CJ Daniels. Now he got a dog. Now he definitely got a dog at wide receiver because that one-handed catch was something to see. That one-handed catch was something to like. It was a grab. It was a grab for real because he was a little bit overthrown. I was just like, listen. I just didn't feel like Notre Dame was going to have a chance. They did, they fell behind and then they did catch up and they made it a game towards the end of the game, but they didn't do what they should have done. CJ Carr finished 19 of 30 for 221 yards. which was with a touchdown pass, with 2 touchdown passes and 1 interception. I mean, of course, the interception was bad, but I mean, stat wise, he didn't do terrible, but it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. So the hard conversation, which I won't make this long, is what is Marcus Freeman gonna do? Why can't Marcus Freeman finish the job? He can't close them out, and I hate that for him. I mean, I don't hate it for him because we did, you know what I'm saying, we had to run on him in the national championship, but I don't know what it's gonna take. Like I don't know what's going on with that football program. It's just they're starting to remind me of Penn State, and y'all know how I feel about Penn State. Like they can't do shit right. They'll do everything right all the way up until they really need to do it right, and then they do it wrong. So this is who Notre Dame is starting to remind me of. The last thing about this game, what I was disappointed about is there were no fights, because I feel like every single time they play after that Catholics versus convicts situation, that it need to be some hands thrown. Every single time. Like, I feel like, I don't care. Every single time that these two teams meet, it needs to be all out brawl on the field. Now, even if they got to just have the backups do it so that, you know, none of the starters are out. Like, somebody got to get hit. Like, I can't. So I feel cheated. Like, watching this whole game, and there were, like, no, like, real knockdown, drag-out fights like it should have been. Because that whole situation is something else. And I don't like it. So, anywho, enough about them. All right, so moving right along. Let's talk about the hate watch. Now, I did not watch this game. I really didn't have any desire to watch it. I knew Michigan was going to win against New Mexico, but I think the story here for me is Bryce Underwood. And I know that he kind of got a bunch of light when he committed to, you know, Michigan. I know he, you know, he was kind of in the spotlight then. And then something happened where I think he had like gained some weight or something, and people were poking fun at him. And then something happened where they said that something was wrong with him. Like he was questionable even for like this first game or something like that. But from what I understand, he got out there and played his black ass off. Like he got out there and from what I understand, he got out there and played his ass off. And I cannot be mad about that. Like, I hate them. I hate everything that Michigan stands for. I hate that they're some cheaters. I hate them. I hate them with everything inside of me. I hate them. But I'm going to give props where props are due. So Bryce Underwood was out there. He was 21 of 31 for 251 yards. He was getting into, like, the little couple of clips that I saw, he was getting it to him. So I ain't nothing I can say about it. And again, just like kind of with Miami, if Michigan decides to really get it together with this particular quarterback, it's going to be a sight to see. It's going to be a sight to see. It's going to be some competition. And again, I'm all for the competition. I'm all for it. Also, Justin Haynes, who was a transfer from Alabama, ran for a career high of 159 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, the last thing I want to talk about with this game was there was a questionable targeting call, but it was only questionable to the Michigan fans. That's the only people it was questionable to, because my understanding of targeting is helmet to helmet, like leading with your helmet and your helmet hits the other helmet, or just leading with your helmet, period. Like you're not supposed to lead with your helmet. I mean, textbook tackling, you're not supposed to lead with your helmet. You're just not supposed to do it. It's dangerous. You're not supposed to. Now, that doesn't mean that it's always on purpose when they do it. So this could have very well, I'm not saying, I don't feel like it was malicious. And a lot of the targeting calls, I don't feel like they are malicious. I don't. And so I think that's one of the things that people have an issue with targeting calls, because, again, I'm pretty sure that like 95% of them are not malicious, but they are dangerous and people can really get hurt. And the rule is the rule. And the young man got, ejected from the game, and I think he has to sit out half of the next game. It was definitely targeting, guys. Like, I don't know what y'all like. It was definitely targeting. And then y'all sat up here and was, mad as hell. I mean, y'all won the game. Like, you won the game. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was beating up on these boys. It's like, let it go at this point. Let it go. He's going to sit out that first half of the game and he's going to come back and he's going to be a dog for y'all. So let's just let it go at this point. But Bryce, be on the lookout for him because he's something to be reckoned with. And again, they build this team, because they still rebuilding. They don't do like everybody else. They just trying to rebuild, trying to get their stuff together. They got the number one high school quarterback. So now they got to build the offense around him. And I don't know if they've done that yet. And I don't really care, but it is what it is. Okay. So moving along, let's have a couple more tough conversations about what happened in week 1. This was the game that I wasn't going to cover because I knew Alabama was going to lose. There was no point in me covering this. Like I wasn't even I was not checking for this game at all. At all. It was not on my initial list. I knew they were going to lose. So the score was 31-17. Florida State beat up on them boys. It is what it is. But this is what I want to talk about. I am extremely fatigued of this DeBoer versus Saban conversation. And I'm going to tell Alabama fans why they need to get over it. Nick Saban, probably the greatest coach in college football. Despite what you think about him, despite how you feel about the Alabama program, despite the chatter of the reason why he left Alabama is because now there's a clear playing field because people feel like he was already giving out money when he wasn't supposed to. We know that there are a lot of programs that do this or that did this before NIL and all that stuff was a thing. So despite how you feel about all of that, like honestly, none of that matters. Nick Saban is unmatched. There will never, ever be another Nick Saban. Ever. And he's not coming back. He's not coming back. Like it's a wrap. It is a wrap. I need y'all to let it go. So when it comes to DeBoer, my issue with him is he's just kind of trash. And he needs to win. Like we know that Alabama, I listen, I understand. Do I really understand the frustration? Not really right now. I don't really. Honestly, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. I don't understand the frustration because the last 3 coaches at Ohio State have been nothing but great. We went from Tressel to Meyer today. So I can't really say I relate. But what I will say is I can empathize with you guys because I could only imagine what it's like being that program with this high of standards and expectations and having a coach that's not able to meet those standards right now. So I get what you're saying. Like I know he probably went home. His damn house was probably on fire when he got home. Like them fans are pissed. They are pissed. They are upset, and rightfully so. But what they need to do is let the whole Saban convo go. Nick Saban is not coming back. He's not. So it's time to let it go, y'all. Like, I don't even know what else to say. It's time to let it go. Like, we can't keep doing this. We can't. We just can't. So that's really all I wanted to say about that. Like, I acknowledge that Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach of all time. I have so much respect for him as a coach, college football coach. But he's done. And I need y'all to just get a grip and see how the season is going to play out. I'm pretty sure that the Alabama Football Club is not going to let this go on too much longer. They probably already looking for a coach. I don't know. It ain't my business. But what I do just want to emphasize is that it's time for y'all to let this shit go. Like it's the conversation is dead. The conversation is dead. Okay. I'm over it. I'm 100% over it. So that was Alabama getting run over by Florida State. All right. Let's go on to the next thing. The next game that I want to talk about is this TCU at North Carolina. Now, I had in the back of my mind that I wanted to watch this game, but I didn't really have a I wasn't planning on covering it. I just wasn't. But after watching it, I guess I just have a couple of things to say about it. So, in true Bill Belichick fashion, he done cut them sleeves off of that sweatshirt. Clearly, that's his uniform. That's what he does. And he got out there and he was just Bill Belichick. Like, here's another like, don't hype it up too much situation. You know what I'm saying? He came to this team. This team has 70 brand new players on it. Coming from college, coming from high school, maybe a couple of transfers, whatever. But the majority, like, none of them know each other and none of them know him. And although they've had this offseason to get to know one another and see how things are going to sync, I think that if Bill Belichick is going to truly step in and rebuild this program, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. Like, I don't really know what people was expecting. Because TCU ran it up on them. Like, and we all know TCU, they ain't really no hoes. They ain't, these last couple of years, TCU, they're not. I mean, they're not, a top 5 or even a top 10 team for me. But they have shown and proven that they are a decent football club. And I don't know what people were expecting. I don't know. Like, what were you guys expecting to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the same. I feel like I've told the same story throughout this whole thing. Like, it's just they lost 48-14. So there's really nothing else to say. And now they did on their opening drive, they did score a touchdown, and I was like, oh, like, I was impressed. I'm like, oh, like, they literally marched it all the way down, probably a good like 80 yards, and scored. It looked like they was running through TCU's defense and everything. And I don't know if that was just TCU trying to, see what the temperature was like. I don't know, but they ran it, they walked it right downfield and scored. And Bill Belichick was looking just like that, like he does. No emotion, no nothing. He's just like, please get out of my face. Like, this is nothing. It is what it is. Like, whatever. So again, I don't know what people were expecting. Of course, I will be, kind of checking on Bill, to see what's going on, but nothing is happening here. I love college football, but I need it to be exciting. I turned that damn game off at halftime. I was over it. What was there to watch? I don't know who watched that game. Who watched the whole 60 minutes of that game? It was painful to watch. I turned it off at halftime. I was over it. I'm like, no, I'm not watching any more of this. So that's all that I have to say about TCU and North Carolina. We're gonna see what Bill does over the next few years, if he lasts that long, because there's speculation that he probably won't. But we'll see. Let's see what happens. So now it's time. It's time. Y'all gonna see my whole demeanor gonna change. You know what I'm saying? It's time. It's time to have a conversation. Are y'all ready to have a conversation? Are y'all ready to have a conversation? Like, about the number one team in the country? Are y'all ready to have a conversation about the number one team in the country? Because I'm ready to have that conversation right now. And I got a lot to say. I got a whole lot to say about this. Okay. First of all, why they set Arch Manning up like that? I have been saying over and over and over again. I don't know why the media took this young man's last name and ran with it. I have no idea. I have so much to say about this. Like, did you guys watch Texas play last year? Did we not watch Texas play last year because they were ranked all the way up, and they went to the playoffs? Do y'all remember when they was in the playoffs? Because I remember it. I remember it vividly from when they were in the playoffs. And you know who wasn't playing? Arch Manning. And so y'all done sat up here and told us that this young man was a Heisman contender. Y'all done told us that he's going to be a first round draft pick, probably number 1. And y'all told us that he was going to shred Ohio State's defense to the ground. This is what y'all told us. This is what y'all were, listen, why did y'all do that to him? And I feel bad for him because he didn't say any of this stuff. I feel bad for him for a couple of reasons. He didn't say any of this stuff. That's the first reason. Like, because why would he? Because he knew better. And second of all, how do you sit behind a quarterback? Quinn Errors, I never could say his last name right. How do you sit behind a quarterback for 2 years? And this is how you come out and play. I blame Sark. I blame their coach because he knew. You knew. Like, bro, come on now. Knock it off. You knew exactly what was going to happen when he got out here in this game. And you know how I know you knew? Because if he was who he said, if he was who, go on, PJ, if he was who y'all said he was, and by y'all, I'm talking about the media and everybody else, like, did y'all watch? Y'all didn't watch Texas play last year. I blame their coach. I blame Sark because he knew better. Okay, he knew better. He knew he set this boy up. And I say that because he's not developed. How do you sit on a college team for 2 years behind a decent quarterback and you're not developed? The coaches, either the coaches failed you or you're just not good enough. You weren't good enough. And were they under pressure? Like, were they under pressure to start him? Or were they under pressure because he was a Manning and they wanted to? I don't understand what they did here. I have no idea. Like, for the life of me, I'm like, he did nothing. He had one throw downfield that looked good. You know, he can run a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But like, people were talking about like just his mechanics were off. Like, he wasn't able to read the field. Like, it was just too much going on for anybody to have assumed all of these things, that he was going to be all of this. Now, there's plenty of football left. Okay. There's plenty of games, cushion games in between there, the next challenging games. And, we'll all get a tune up. We'll all get a tune up with them little cushiony games that's coming up. But honestly, this was the game. I don't want to hear it. And so now the whole narrative is turning around like, oh, he had to play on the road. He was at the shoe. This is a big game. He probably was nervous. I mean, there was just so many things. Somebody said, I feel like it was on Pat McAfee. I feel like it might have been him that said, this was good for him. See, what they're doing is like taking the narrative, like how Ohio State lost to Michigan and then they like turboed all the way up is what they're trying to run with. Like, that's what they're trying to do. Oh, this may be good that he lost this one. So now they know, what needs to happen. And you never know, like saying he might have been good this game and the rest of the games, he has a possibility of falling off. What you had to bring my QB up for? Y'all was talking. See, this is what the problem is. What did you even have to bring Sam up for? Like, I mean, I know y'all were talking about the game, but there was no reason for you to say that while you were talking about how trash Arch Manning played. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Like, it pisses me off. And so let me Let me regroup for a second. So Ohio State won 14-7. So I don't think Texas scored until maybe, was it third quarter? Because I thought they was gonna shut them out. I feel like, was it third quarter? Yeah, I think it was third quarter that they scored. And people were still hopeful because they were trying to make a little run or whatever, and towards the end of the game, and it just didn't work out for them. Okay, so and what's crazy about this game, what's super, and I'm gonna get to saying in a minute, but what's crazy about this game is the stats were like neck and neck, but a lot of Texas stats came like in the fourth quarter, like a lot of their yards, a lot of their all the good things that they did came in the fourth quarter. Ohio State controlled this game from jump. There was not a time when Ohio State looked like they were not national champions, outside of Jeremiah dropping the ball a couple of times. I think they had like a total of like 3 drops, and everybody just, Lord have mercy, like nobody could take it because they had these 3 drops. You know what I'm saying? We're all, surprised by it, but it happens, right? It happens. They kind of shut Jeremiah down, kind of like what they did in Texas. Kind of like what they did in the playoffs, but we knew that was going to happen. And Jeremiah was frustrated. It was a visible thing. We could all see it on his face. He had to change his gloves, all that good stuff. But Jeremiah is not the only receiver on this team. Let me talk about Sand real quick. Sand, on the other hand, came out there as if he had been developed. As if he had some coaches that poured into him. As if he came to the Buckeyes with some mechanics. Okay? Like, I was extremely impressed because, again, if you saw my reel, or if you've talked to me, or if you've seen my tweets or whatever, you got to make me a believer. Like, look, just the same type of hype that only Ohio State, let's put that in there, that only Ohio State fans were giving him, because the media was not giving, saying nothing. Let's keep it a buck. This was supposed to be the Arch Manning show. So let's not even do this. Ohio State fans was hyping him up big time, but baby, you got to make a believer out of me. And even though he went out there with much poise, he was, if those 3 passes wouldn't have been, if those 3 drops wouldn't have happened, he would have had an 88% pass completion percentage. Like, we can't even blame those drops on him. It was all the receivers. So I don't want to hear it. He was 13 of 20 passes for 126 yards. And one of the things that I was yelling throughout the whole game, because I'm a couch coach. One of the things that I was yelling, I'm like, yo, when we was up like 14, I'm like, let him air it out. Please. Let him air it out. What are we doing here? Like, they was doing these little screen passes. They was doing a lot of running, which the running paid off, because CJ Donaldson Jr. was on their ass on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely was doing what needed to be done. I just didn't understand why they weren't throwing the ball. Like, why are y'all not throwing the ball? This is the perfect time to throw the ball. And so what Ryan Day said in his post-game interview, and it made a lot of sense, was this was a big game, probably the biggest he's ever played, and they didn't want to throw him to the wolves. What they did was they put together a plan to win while getting Sand acclimated to the environment. Again, you have to be a special person to come to The Ohio State University and play quarterback. You have to be. And that's not to say that we are QBU because we're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, our quarterbacks are very good in college, and then some of them get, you know, they ain't all CJ Stroud. I'm gonna just put it out there. They ain't all CJ Stroud. Now, CJ a dog, and I don't want nobody to say nothing bad about CJ because CJ is a damn dog. But we can't necessarily say that they go off to the NFL and do all these great things. But what we can say is while they are at Ohio State, they do very well. They do very well. And one thing that I kept saying was with the caliber of receivers that we have, you know, it was kind of like Will. Like Will was a solid quarterback with a lot of heart who wasn't afraid to go out there and do whatever it was he needed to do. He didn't have to always be 100% accurate because he had a receiving core that was just 5-star. 5-star. You understand what I'm saying? Go and we talk about Carnell Tate's touchdown. Did y'all see that touchdown? Did y'all see how he jumped up in the air? Like the ball was a little bit overthrown. Did y'all see how he jumped up in the air and grabbed that? Did y'all see that? Like, I mean, come on. Come on. So he scored a touchdown and CJ Donaldson scored a touchdown. That was our 14. And because you know there's an and, let's talk about Matt Patricia. Let's talk about remember how I said we went from Tressel to Meyer to Day? I think we have that kind of transition at defensive coordinator at this point. Because we know, we was mourning when Jim Knowles left. We were. I was. But Matt Patricia stepped in and had them boys all over the field. Sonny style. I think that there is a very high probability of us being the number one defense in the country again. 2 fourth and short stops, 1 in the red zone. That's what we do. When I say I was so surprised, I was telling a friend, like I said, I was talking to 3:30 in the morning, and I was telling a friend how I felt like I was afraid about the defense. Like I didn't for some reason I felt settled about the offense, but the defense, we lost so much great talent on defense. And that's where my fear was. I didn't know if we could match the caliber of football that we had last year on defense. And apparently I was overreacting because we really got out there and did what needed to be done. They tried that tush push. It don't work for us. Y'all got to do something else. They probably should just kick the field goal at that point. It's not happening. We saw that it was a total repeat of what happened in the playoffs. A total repeat. Another thing that happened in this game that I was very impressed with was we ain't had a whole lot of penalties. And y'all know we be with the penalties. Ohio State be with the penalty. They played very just disciplined. I'm so proud of this team already. I'm so proud of this team already. So, again, we did what needed to be done. It is what it is. And another thing, because again, there's another thing. I don't understand why Ohio State is hated so much. And when I say hated so much, I'm talking about, again, networks, these sports shows. All these people hate Ohio State. All these sports writers, all of these people with all of these opinions, because how the hell did you think, or how the hell did you feel that Ohio State shouldn't have been ranked number 1? They were ranked number 3, and they beat the number 1 team in the country that y'all had ranked because they had Manning on as QB. Not Peyton, not Eli, Arch. I'm going to need y'all to knock it off. Even I try to be non-biased. And y'all know I love my Buckeyes. But I'm going to talk about what they do wrong. Just as well as I'm going to talk about what they do right. Y'all got to put some respect on the Ohio State University. Y'all got to put some respect on it. Y'all got to put some respect on Coach Ryan Day. Stop with this BS. Stop with this. And I I came to the conclusion today that it's all because we're not in the SEC. So what I've learned about the SEC and their fans and just what they do is if their number one is getting knocked off and their other favorites are getting knocked off, the people who are winning, it don't even matter where they at. It don't matter what conference they in. They just they can't handle it. It's like people are so upset that the SEC is not where they once were. And that's not to say that they're trash. That's not to say that they are, overall not doing well. But if you take a look, Alabama is no longer on top. Georgia is no longer on top. Texas is not on top. Y'all play so much as if Ohio State wasn't the defending national champions. And what I can say is about us being the defending national champions and compared to others is that even though we lost all of the things that we lost, we rebuilt. We rebuilt our team. Like, we did that. Like, do y'all see it now? Like, do y'all see how we did that? We did that. There is no excuse. We didn't have to have an excuse. We didn't have to say, "Oh, we lost everything and everybody, and so now we're rebuilding." We reloaded is what we did, and we did a good job of it. I just need y'all to put some respect on Ohio State because I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired. Like, knock it off already. Okay, I'm a quit ranting, but I do have one more thing to say. Jeremiah Smith is still the best player in college football. And I'm going to stand my ground on that. Did he have some drops unnecessarily? Absolutely he did. Absolutely he did. But why can't y'all give him the grace that y'all are giving everybody else? Why can't y'all give him the grace? Oh, maybe he had some jitters. Maybe he was nervous. Maybe he was too worked up and couldn't get in the groove. Maybe he was double, triple team, which he was a couple of times. All of these things. Even the best player have the worst days. But and he didn't have like a horrible game. He just didn't have a Jeremiah Smith game. He just didn't have a number 4 game. And it was visible. He was upset. He was so very upset. He wanted that ball so bad. He wanted to score so bad. You could just tell by his body language. He reminded me a little bit of CJ Stroud when something didn't go right with CJ and he would just unravel because Jeremiah he's used to getting the ball and scoring. Now, does that excuse the body language and the behavior? No, because you ain't never supposed to pick your head up, my G. Like, you ain't never supposed to be doing none of that. But I'm going to say today that Jeremiah Smith is still the best player in college football. And he's going to prove that. He's going to prove that. And when it happens as the season goes on, because remember, you know what I'm saying? We have a whole season left and he just might, he'll do great. Ain't that what y'all said about Arch? He's going to be fine. He's going to do great. He's still going to, but y'all couldn't do that for Jeremiah Smith. So I want y'all to knock it off. Like, I'm so dead ass. Like, I'm so pissed off about this. Jeremiah Smith, you are still the number 1 wide receiver in the country. You are still the number 1 player, college football player to me. And even some of the fans, like, okay, we were all like, what is happening with Jeremiah? We were all like that. But what y'all not going to do is discredit what y'all know this young man is capable of. And now he about to be on y'all ass, and I'm here for it. So when it happens, I need everybody to step back up to their microphones, to their phones, to, their studios and all this, that, and the third. And I need y'all to put some respect on Jeremiah Smith's name. Like, stop. Like, I just cannot. Y'all be pissing me off. I just cannot believe y'all just wrote him off just like that. Y'all ain't, who didn't y'all write off? It's so disrespectful. The disrespect that we have, that Ohio State has, is just beyond me. Okay? So, I'm going to wrap this up. I will put out my list of games that I'll be covering and paying attention to. If anything else pops up, I'll definitely be talking about that. But I want to know what y'all think. What do y'all think about week 1? Are you exhausted like I am? Were you as excited? Did your team win? Like, what stood out to you for week 1? I just want to know. Like, let me know down in the comments. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. And until you hear me or see me again, peace.